There have been a couple of major benefits to me by watching Raw on Tuesday at some point in time instead of live on Monday night. Number one, I can get football entirely out of my system for the weekend by watching the Monday night game instead, which is what I would rather do. Number two, I can sit there and go back and watch Raw on Tuesday when I'm a little more refreshed. I'm not trying to sit through it on a Monday night. And like I said again, I've also gotten football out of my system so I can compartmentalize better. And number three, it makes it a lot easier for me watching it after it's happened to skip through parts that are boring me or that I don't give a crap about. For a 3-hour show, which is about, maybe 2 hours and 15 minutes to 2 hours and 20 minutes of actual non-commercial show, I did a lot of skipping this week, and I emphasize a lot of skipping. Here you are, this is your go-home Raw before Night of Champions, and I'm sitting there and I'm saying to myself, they've got a full match card. Kudos to the WWE. They've got some potentially good matchups, some potentially good matches that could happen on that show. And again, matches of consequence, matches with reasons to happen, matches with story heading into them. WWE's done well on that. But damn it all, this was a boring-ass show, period, in several different areas. There were parts that were somewhat redeeming, but like I said, I spent a lot of the show hitting the fast forward button and skipping through portions of matches and entire segments. Maybe it's just me being caught up in the fact that it's football season, and like I said, every year my interest in wrestling goes down a little bit, coinciding with the kickoff of the football season, and to be fair, that might be part of it. But the WWE could do a better job, a much better job than what they're doing. You're going up against Monday Night Football, and it's obvious by a couple of the things that they did that they understood that they were going up against Monday Night Football, and as a result, they tried to counter-program, and I'm sitting there saying to myself, this is the best you could do? This was the best you could come up with? A lot of the same old crap, stupid booking in matches, bad comedy, nonsensical bullshit, and just a lot of stupid stuff, period. After the opening segment, which I'll talk about in a little bit, you dive right into Jericho versus Kane, and I understand what the WWE is trying to do here. You're trying to go with established names like Heyman and Cena to kick off the show, getting some of those older fans that might feel the urge to flip over to football once it starts. At 8:30 Eastern, the game itself, you want to come out strong, come out of the gate, come out with bigger stars, more recognizable, well-known names with history behind them. So you kicked off the first official match being Jericho versus Kane. That I understand. Doesn't mean that I want to see it. And of all the things, you've got freaking Jericho beating Kane because Kane took the turnbuckle off. He gets sent into the corner, and Jericho has to beat the guy who I can't remember, frankly, the last time he beat anybody clean on a pay-per-view via a freaking roll-up. Wow. And then you get Jack Swagger versus Bo Dallas as the next match. You can clearly see at this point in time, they're like, we assume that people aren't fucking watching anyways because they went over to watch football or other primetime programming, so who cares? Jack Swagger, Bo Dallas. Now, let me get this straight, WWE. You're not a fan of, namely Vince McMahon and probably Kevin Dunn as well, because this is Triple H's project with NXT, and as critically important as it is to the company's long-term success, we'd rather sabotage the young guys before we ever give them a chance. We don't like Bo Dallas, so we fuck up with Bo Dallas, and we break his streak for no damn reason with no real follow-up. Then we send him into this program with Swagger that, while at least it keeps him on television, is designed just to give Swagger something to do. So you have Bo Dallas lose here to the guy in Jack Swagger who has been given chance after chance over the years for whatever damn reason. You talk about the epitome of screw-up. The guy that you had pegged to win Money in the Bank at WrestleMania 26 that took about 2 damn minutes to unhook the briefcase. The same Jack Swagger, when he was in the middle of a monster heel push going in a realistic direction with Zeb Coulter, talking about illegal immigration in his feud with ADR heading into WrestleMania a couple years ago. You sit there and have this guy get arrested, and yet you come back and you push this asshole again. I get that you don't have a lot of confidence and faith, Vince and Kevin Dunn, in these young guys because it's Triple H, and you're worried about the here and now. Screw 3 months from now. It's all about today and tomorrow, not next week, next month, none of that crap. But of all the people, Jack fucking Swagger. Why? And then there was just like a run of stupid shit on this show. The Divas tag. Freaking stupid. Oh, here's Paige skipping, and then AJ Lee's mirroring her and they're skipping. Ah, fucking A. Bray Wyatt versus The Big Show. Something that could actually be a somewhat interesting, entertaining feud. So, again, we're just going to sit there and peel off of what happened on SmackDown and just give it to you here on Raw. And, of course, the booking of this is fucking ridiculous. They have managed to make Bray Wyatt as uninteresting as they possibly can, as much as he tries to overcome and transcend that. The WWE is doing a hell of a job of deflating what was once the helium-filled awesomeness of the Bray Wyatt career trajectory path. It's ridiculous. Then, of course, you got Cesaro and the Dust Twins versus Sheamus and the Usos. It's a fucking 6-man tag. Well, whoopity-doo! Like, we needed to see this shit again. And then, of course, instead of having one of the heels win either in a crooked way or, by God, heaven forbid, in a clean, legit way, you have the freaking babyface team go over, and is so often the case in WWE, the babyface has got to be strong and monstrous. Then you throw at us Cameron and Naomi for what reason, I know not fucking why. And somebody structuring this match decided that the best way to get this match over, the best way to showcase these two, was to have Cameron do anything at all? Why aren't you counting? Because she's not on her back with her shoulders to the mat, you stupid bitch. And then 90 seconds or 2 minutes of her putting freaking Naomi in semi-loose-ass looking submission holds. Oh, good effing Christ. Tapping out before Naomi's even actually put the full submission move in. Oh, Jesus. Whoever structured this match as an agent, whoever made the decision to put this in the script and be on the show, should be immediately suspended, if not fired. One thing that did have me laughing my ass off, though, and I didn't fast forward through it at all, was apparently Dolph Ziggler. I don't watch SmackDown anymore, so I couldn't fucking tell you. But apparently Dolph Ziggler has himself his own stunt double. And my God, the resemblance is uncanny. If they wouldn't have mentioned it, I wouldn't even have known it was R-Truth. Miz has got a stunt double. Dolph Ziggler's got a fucking stunt double. See? Entertaining shit like this, interesting shit like this, different shit like this can actually, God forbid, make Dolph Ziggler somewhat entertaining to me. They've got a long ways to go because they've done a lot of damage to his character, whatever character he even has to begin with. But this type of stuff is funny. You know, let's have some fun. Do some interesting and different stuff. This was a highlight of the show for me. I don't know how to even explain this, or I don't even understand what the justification could possibly be, other than you're going to get some type of screwy finish where Rollins wins on Sunday. Why in the hell, WWE, would you expect people to pay, in theory, to watch one of your featured matches at Night of Champions Sunday, which is actually Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins, if you are just really flat out going to give away the fucking match for free on Raw? Or does this make any freaking sense? And, you know, I sat there when they announced it, you know, because I didn't check on Twitter in terms of wrestling. I didn't read any dirt sheets. So I'm sitting there watching it as if it is live in theory, and I'm sitting there saying to myself, okay, Kane, Orton are going to come out, maybe Triple H comes out, and you start to tease towards that, really, or Rollins gets DQ'd, or Rollins wins in some type of bullshit way. They did none of that. Fucking Reigns goes over clean. At this point in time, why the hell should they have a match at Night of Champions on Sunday? What the hell is the purpose of the feud? Roman Reigns got the one-up. As far as I'm concerned, close the book on it. End of story. Who books this shit? Oh, the crap involving Heyman and Cena and Brock Lesnar. You know, the first thing you kick off with Paul Heyman, and I'm like, all credit to Paul Heyman, because with all the scripted promos and crap, the one thing he actually has is the ability to deliver. He can basically take whatever he's shoveled or given and somewhat make it work. And you can see that here. His delivery, his timing is outstanding. I don't think I talk about that enough. Just how good he is at that. How good he is at peeling back the layers of it being watered down and scripted, and actually tries to make it feel somewhat spontaneous, fresh, different, cool, if you will. But, the whole dynamics of this are all screwed up. Here's John Cena, who's supposed to be the kid-friendly hero, saying words like ass, which, of course, I'd love to have, if I had a 5-year-old son, let's say, and I took him to go watch John Cena because that's his favorite wrestler because the little shit's a shit. And I'm sitting there taking him to see this guy, and the guy's freaking sitting there and saying ass. And we're supposed to be family-friendly. We're supposed to be PG. And then here's the hero, for whatever reason, bullying a guy who's not a freaking wrestler. If I don't know any better and I'm a kid watching and I tune in, let's say, for the very first time, and the first thing I kick off with is seeing John Cena have Paul Heyman in a headlock, and I don't know any better, I think John Cena's a big, meanie, weenie bully, and I think Paul Heyman's the victim, which means Brock Lesnar is my hero and the one that I want to cheer for, which, of course, gets into the whole dynamics of this crap. Is that at the end of the day, the people don't want to cheer John Cena. They want to cheer Brock Lesnar. At least they feel like there is a chance of some type of story being told with Brock Lesnar that just is never going to be fucking present with John Cena, period. And again here, it's the same old shit. Who writes this crap? Who produces this crap? Cena, Heyman, frankly, their words, same old shit. Corny crap of Cena freaking getting Khali to guard the door, which, mind you, opens up this way with Heyman on this side of the door, so he couldn't open up the door that wasn't locked, and if it was locked, it could only be opened from the inside. He can't just open it up and slide away from Great Khali, who's a big giant but also slow and lumbering. Why would Paul Heyman be knocking on the door if he's on the inside? You would assume, again, that the door would lock from the inside. If you say, well, it doesn't, well, then how in the fuck did the camera crew get in there to shoot images and shoot video of Paul Heyman in John Cena's locker room? Were they in there stalking out John Cena's locker room the entire time, hoping to look at the Jork Johnson? I don't fucking know. It's just so stupid. And then he tries to call to cell phone and call. Oh my God. And then here comes Cena later on at halftime. Oh, good Christ. I was hoping it was going to be the post game at this point in time. He's dragging them out to the ring again, showing the kids that bullying is okay. If this is the first time you've ever watched, John Cena looks like the bad guy and Paul Heyman looks like the guy you empathize with. So the guy coming to save him, Brock Lesnar, would look like the hero. And we go down the same fucking road we've always done with this asshole of trying to tease him going to the dark side. And maybe the beast needs to come out of him. And if it does, he actually has a chance to beat Brock Lesnar and he could become a Paul Heyman guy. And John Cena finally has some scruples and says no. And it's the same fucking shit. It's not good. It sucks. Everything this company pretty much does involving Cena sucks. He's coming off of the, as they said, ass kicking of a lifetime at SummerSlam. Never showing any bruising, any scarring, any worse for the wear, no limping, no physical damage, emotional, psychological damage of any fucking kind. And ever since then, because Vince just can't fucking help himself and get in the way of potentially a good, decent story for a damn change with this freaking Cena monster, we got to have him be a fucking house of fire, look like $1 million, and by the time we finally stopped tiptoeing around the tulips and decided to smell the roses, Brock Lesnar and John Cena finally fight a little bit, even though Lesnar is sitting there, coming down to the ramp the whole time. He's standing outside, and Cena's just fucking looking at him. If you wanted to fight the asshole so damn bad, why wouldn't you go storming after him? You were dragging the walrus dude around all night long. You wanted to fight so damn bad. Where there's the fucking Jimmy John's meathead. Go fucking get him. The way this is written, the way it's produced, the way it's booked, it's all the same old crap. And this is why people don't get engaged in John Cena. This is why people don't like John Cena. This is why people are cheering for Brock Lesnar. Now, I'm sure a lot of people were very surprised that a segment involving Mark Henry and Rusev main evented Raw. Frankly, I was surprised too. Of all the things you could choose to be your enduring image of your go-home show on Raw before Night of Champions, this was what you chose. Interesting. And I'm sure a lot of people probably didn't like this, thought this was stupid and crapped on it. And I don't know if I'm going to do that here because, well, not just because it involves Mark Henry, but that's certainly a part of it, but the dynamics at play here. You know, it's very simple. You didn't have to do a lot, and this segment works. And the crowd unanimously gets behind the guy that they're supposed to get behind. This Rusev character has been a bit of an old school revelation for the WWE in some ways, you know, touching on patriotic, nationalistic type of storylines. And you don't have to do a lot. You don't have to overcomplicate it. Keep it simple, stupid, and it works. And this segment works. And a lot of these type of segments involving Rusev seem to ultimately work. So I ask you, if you're going to give away Heyman and Cena at the beginning and do Heyman, Cena, and Lesnar in the middle of the show, and you probably don't want to end the show with Reigns and Rollins, because that's a match you're going to see again in 6 days on the damn pay-per-view, why not end the show with Henry and Rusev? It's got to be a lot better than ending it with the Bella Sluts, isn't it? I mean, seriously, think about it. Based off of what was on this show, what the hell would you have main evented instead? I think it worked fine. I thought it was a good close to the show. It was one of the few things I really liked on Raw.